Hey guys, I'm so excited we get to review what has become my favorite escape room I've ever played at the escape game or anywhere. It is called,
Whoa.
yep, that's right. It's called Ruins. I cannot imagine a room being better than this one. I think it takes number one, easily takes number one, my favorite escape
Ooh.
room I've ever
Wow.
played. Um,
It's contracted with Disney. I mean, like, what kind of standard do you have when you
yeah.
do it?
And it's obviously Disney. I mean, you walk in, and the lobby that you walk into before you go into the game is immersive. I mean, you walk into the
Yes.
lobby, they've got brochures for the flight attendant that is
So
helping
cool.
you through, or the
Yes.
tour guide.
I agree. Lobby, best lobby ever in the history of gaming.
Yeah.
Awesome lobby. You enter into the game and you start off in an airplane and
Locked
you're
up.
flying.
Yep.
Yep, buckled in, and you're
Yep.
flying. You're on a tour. You're going to some island or something to see some ruins, and you find and eventually you end up in these ruins, searching for a treasure. And you
Indiana
start off
Jones style.
Indiana Jones style. It was just as good as Indiana Jones movie, including the new one, um, which wasn't that new. I think Caleb, you were talking about the locks and what they told us about the locks.
But I mean, I loved. He said when we first, signed in and got our reservation taken care of. He said, "Oh, you're gonna love this room," because I was talking to how I love generational two locks. And he said, "Well, this room only has three locks." He said that. I was just trying to figure out how are you going to keep us busy for so long in this room and different elements if you only have three locks that we have to unlock with key or code. And he said, "Oh, you just wait." And we were blown away by how many elements that I've never seen before that I didn't even think they could handle. But the engineering, I mean, we got to see the factory. So we saw how much detail and intentionality go in this.
And just how incredibly interactive the room is. So you don't need locks because getting
No,
through the room is interacting with the room. And it's the biggest escape room I think I've ever been in. Maybe not size wise, maybe size wise, I don't know. But it just felt like, are we still going? We're still discovering new areas. Like there's more to this. I just feel like we traveled forever to get here
the
and we're
most rooms
still
I've
going.
yeah.
But again, I
Ooh.
love the storyline, and you're starting on off the airplane, but then you get out and you are immersed. You feel like you are in the lost jungle, but you
Yep.
know exactly where you see the temple that's right there, and you know you got to get in there. And then,
Yep.
boom, you open the door, and you're not just in the temple, you are in an epic temple, which was pretty awesome to see. And again, it didn't end there. You didn't just
Yep.
go into a little part of the temple. You had to go through the temple and escape. Just like Indiana Jones, you're escaping through these areas to get to where you need to go to get the treasure, which was awesome. I loved it as well. It was epic.
And the things that are moving in the room that you do not expect to move. I mean,
Mhm.
all this, I assume this is just some prop, and then all of a sudden the prop becomes interactive and starts moving. And a couple times it was like chills moments, like when the room starts moving and you push in that last piece or that you unlock that thing, and now everything in the room is moving. I don't even know what to look at. Like just
What's
incredible.
happening? Where are we going?
Ruin. There was some elements in this room that were like what the Exorcist movie. There was some. Okay, we won't give away a lot of details, but there's one part that reminds you of the Exorcist, another part that reminds you of the trash compactor scene from Star Wars, and you are if to be able to live inside of some of those scenes is so cool. It's my second favorite room of all time, and it's just right up there.
I got one more thing to say about the ruins that I just loved, and actually, you guys, Dad and Mark, you kind of missed this because of the side of the plane you were sitting on. Only on Mike's side and I could we see the window of how they used the lighting to show like we were flying, and so it was like sunny out, and then you get closer to the jungle and you start seeing the leaves and everything like shadows. the projectors, even when you went into the ruins, you had the bird sounds and everything. Like I mean, every five senses. This is what Disney does well. This is what the escape room does well. All five of our senses were being used at one point.
Being that this is probably my favorite one ever, I hate to put a con too, but I was sitting on the opposite side of the plane, so I didn't get to see any of that. And so
Didn't see
again,
anything. Same here.
We talked about the elevator in the deep and how you felt like it was really moving. That was kind of, I didn't feel like the airplane was moving. I feel like they probably could have done something with the sound or some sort of vibration to make you feel like it was moving. Because again, I didn't get to visually see it. I just saw the sound of the plane, but I didn't get to see the visual what you saw. So that was probably one of my cons. Like, I didn't get immersed right there at the beginning like you guys got immersed.
And they make you
do that
put
on
a
both sides?
seatbelt on as you go into that little airplane. They make you put a seatbelt on, so you're kind of thinking we're going to get shaken here.
Yeah,
and I said it's moving, guys. We're moving.
Yeah, I mean, make the game master just shake the plane on the outside of it.
He's hitting stuff.
Yeah.
I think the physical challenges in this room were a lot of fun. There was multiple times where you were using balls or sticks or something to maneuver and get things done. So you're not just doing a traditional lock. It feels more consistent with the storyline. And so that makes it a lot of fun. And the lighting and all of that was superb.
That reminds me of another pro, searching the room. I got more excited at two parts of the items that I found because I was like, no way is this an item. It was part of the set, and it helped us. And I was like, that is the freaking coolest thing because the scavenger hunt aspect.
I think the transition from one temple room to another temple room was one of those classic the escape game transitions. I'm going to say you slide down, but it includes a addition to the normal side. The escape game has slides in multiple rooms, but this was like an addition to the slide that made the slide that much cooler. That I won't spoil for you. Any cons that you can think of outside of you guys didn't get to see the cool window effects? Any other cons you can think of?
We did.
No, there were no cons.
We did.
No cons with the room, just cons with, not knowing that we were going a little bit too fast for the room. Faster is not always better. Ask your wife.
I don't need to ask her. All right, let's do ratings for this room. What would you give this room out of 5? Caleb, go.
This is a 6. I have 0 cons. I sat on the right side of the plane. I got to see all of the effects happening, and so like it was a perfect room for me. Like 3 locks and so much searching, so much physical challenges. Best room ever.
Awesome, Billy.
5, easy, solid 5 plus. Don't have any cons for this room. If you do the room though in the Nashville escape game, go in and sit on the right side of the plane, right? And you won't miss out on anything like poor Mark and I did.
Nope.
Okay, for me, I give it a 5. I mean, it was really the perfect room. Even though I had a few small cons, it was still the perfect room. It just so immersed me in every aspect. I felt like I was truly walking like Indiana Jones and escaping out of this and finding the treasure. And I loved it. And I agree with Caleb, just the quality of, there weren't just these little locks you wouldn't find in the jungle. You were actually having to do things that you felt would be there in that environment in a temple. And so I give it a 5 for sure.
I've never felt so confident giving a room a 5. This room is easily a 5. I cannot think of anything I would change about this room. I can't imagine doing it any better without making the room too expensive to make it to where they could actually afford to do it. If you are an escape room enthusiast and you have the ability to get to Nashville, get there as soon as you possibly can and do ruins at the escape